On YouTube, Rainbow Tilt writes in and requests, I would love it if you did something with polenta. I see it all the time, but I have no idea what it is, what it tastes like, or what you eat with it. Guidance and reassurance would be nice. Rainbow Tilt, today's WTF is for you. Today's sponsor is Emmy's Organics. They're a manufacturer of all things good. They make natural, vegan, and gluten-free products, and maybe their signature item is their macaroons. They make a macaroon that is completely raw, completely vegan-friendly, and totally delicious. Check them out online at emmysorganics.com and use the code WTF to receive a free pack of macaroons with your order. All right, Rainbow Tilt, today we are talking about polenta, and I, like you, didn't know so much about it until I did some research for the show. Polenta is a corn-based dish popular in Italian cuisine. Basically, they grind up corn into meal of varying consistencies depending on the region that it is from, and then they cook this into sort of a slurry that is really tasty. They often put cheeses in it and such, and it becomes this porridge, this corn porridge that's super delicious. Throughout history, polenta has come in many forms and came out of ingredients other than corn. It was also made with farro and chestnut flour, though today most polenta is made of corn. When polenta is cooked, it gets super creamy and smooth. That's because the starch inside of the corn gelatinizes and creates this really smooth consistency. It also has to do with the texture of the corn and how finely it was ground into meal. If it was ground super fine, it's going to be very fine at the end, and it'll also cook much faster. In fact, there are even some instant polentas that are available now. And if you go with a much coarser meal, it's going to take a lot longer to cook. And you can go into some restaurants and find polenta served a bit more liquidy in a bowl, or you can cook it down more and form it into shapes. So sometimes you'll see a polenta that was cooked down, formed into a little patty or a brick, and then seared off on the griddle, giving it some char marks, and it's the foundation for fish or some other dish. Polenta can be served as a main entree, but it can also be the bed for something else. You can use it as the foundation for a meat dish that you cook off. Maybe you're going to make filet mignon and serve it over polenta, or perhaps you're going to sear off some scallops or some shrimp and serve them over polenta. You can look at polenta as a base and add different herbs, spices, and ingredients to shape it into a complement to whatever protein you're cooking. Polenta and corn in general have historically been consumed primarily by peasants, and we're not going to diverge from that. We're going to do a fairly traditional polenta recipe. It's going to be a super creamy polenta with lots of cheese in it, because who doesn't love cheese? First, put 4 cups of chicken stock in a pan over high heat and let it boil for about 5 minutes. Quickly whisk in 1 cup of medium grain yellow polenta until fully incorporated. Lower the heat to a low simmer, add about 4 tablespoons of butter, and allow the polenta to cook, stirring consistently for about 30 minutes. Finish by stirring in about 1 cup of mascarpone cheese and season with salt and pepper to taste. Continue to cook a little more, about 5 minutes, then add between 1/2 cup to 1 cup of grated Parmesan, depending on how cheesy you want it to be. So this is the type of dish that you can make ahead of time. If you're making it ahead of time, be sure to put it in an airtight container. You can even tuck some plastic wrap on top of it so it doesn't form a skin, and reheat it the next day in your microwave. Of course, everyone loves fresh food, so making it to order, if you have the time, is great. Tune in tomorrow for another WTF, and be sure to check out our sponsor, emmysorganics.com.